brother. What's
Boy,
up?
this is a
Hey, how
group
you doing?
recording, man.
Yeah,
I
brother,
could dig
like
it.
solid. Right on.
Hey, man, what's your name?
More,
All
more,
right. Good morning and welcome to the
there's
Earl
too
Ingram
many
Show.
of you crying.
As always, you can join us at 855-752-4842. That's 855-752-4842. You can text us at that same number. Good morning to you, Cardi. How you doing, man?
Well, Earl, feeling pretty good today. Had an interesting day yesterday. I won't get into detail about that, but just want to say one thing that I'm thankful for being alive today, and that's all that matters.
Generally, my speech. Uh, but, but for a young man to say that, I guess, man, that's pretty telling.
Yeah,
But anyway, I'm happy you're still here too, man.
appreciate that.
When we're 31 and we see it from that perspective, man, that's pretty good. But anyway, it is Thursday, and that means Thursdays with the one and only Dr. Omar, the pharmacist. You're officially in the pharmacy with Dr. Omar, the proprietor and founder of Welltopia Pharmacy in Mecca and Thingsville. Good morning to you, Dr. Omar. How you doing, sir?
Good morning, Earl. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. It's beautiful weather, and I'm just preparing for the summer to come
I,
anytime soon.
you're not happy to be alive like the
I
young
am happy
man
to
here?
be alive. Yes,
Oh,
I'm happy to be alive. That is great.
that kind of goes without saying, right? The alternative is
Yeah,
not too good.
it's the challenge is like just living. The stress of living is something that we're now thinking every hour of the day about, life is stressful as it is, and then you add to this the news, add to this any life event. So I am thinking that it's just managing stress alone is a key to better living. So we have to live the moment, and I learned this from many people who are overachieving, and I ask them, "What's your secret?" And most of them would tell me, "I am living the moment, the task right in front of me. I'm not worried about yesterday because it's already done, happened. I'm not worried about tomorrow. I am living the moment," and that's key to feeling happy and living happy. Because if we are going to carry loads of challenges and problems and kids and wife and life and all of that all the time, it's not going to work, Aaron. We have to live 1 minute at a time.
Well, today is really, and right now is the only time that you really promise, right? I mean,
Yeah.
living in the moment. So let me ask you. We had a lot of rain yesterday, and by any stretch of the imagination, people would say, "What a horrible, dreadful, dreadful day." But without all that rain, Doctor Omar, you can't get the trees to do what they do. You can't get the flowers, and everything else has been dormant. Life has been dormant, and now it starts to come back to life. That's what the spring is about. But there's some things we have to navigate in order to get right to the prime weather that we crave and love so much. And some of us have some difficult times navigating the process, uh, you know, called the spring and what it brings.
Yeah, pollens are going to start to fall, and seasonal allergies will start to flare up.
What is
And
a pollen? What is a pollen for those of us who don't know?
so let's say that our immune system is created in a way to protect us from invaders. And under many circumstances, there are products in the weather and environment that can trigger our immune system to falsely think that these are invaders. So it will trigger an immune reaction. Pollens are coming from the trees during change of the seasons, and you would find them everywhere from the trees, from the flowers, and it would cause many people to have what we call seasonal allergies. And some people have those allergies all year long, but the pollens would flare them up. And I want to kind of explain how the process happens so people understand how serious it can be to address it. But let's say that 50 million Americans suffer from allergies every single year. That's 1 in 6 of us sneezing, wheezing, or itching. Numbers have doubled up since 1970s, according to the CDC. Well, it's fair to say that we have like one in every household have kind of an allergy for one part or another, and pollen is just one of them. But there is also mold, dust, and foods, and all of these cause the releasing of what we call histamine and sparking inflammation in the body. And histamine production, we always say histamine, antihistaminics. So I want to decode this term and explain in simple words like what it means and how can we all year long work on combating those false reactions of the immune system.
Well, so let me ask you, Dr. Omar, are these allergies transferable? Can others, you know, become exposed to allergies and from someone else?
That's a great question. There is more of a genetic factor there, and there is more of kind of unidentified immune system responses. But the way that it happens is very unique because first, at the first attack of something that causes allergy, it affects antibodies in the body called IgE. And these IgE antibodies, it's the first time, just cause what we call sensitization. Just send it a message that next time I will come attack me because I am an invader. It's a false message that comes to the immune system. Next time when it comes, the IgE message goes to what we call mast cell. And the mast cell is kind of a brain, like a brain or a kind of a control cell to produce these histamines. And those histamines are telling the body to react in a way that can be what we say the hives, the sneezing, and the congestion, nasal congestion. So they're not transferable from a person to another, but there is a genetic factor, and there is also changes that happened in the environment, sterile living habits that we're having that made those allergies flare up. And talking about this, there is a very unique researches that came about a certain probiotics, a healthy gut bacteria that lives in the infant gut. And because mothers take antibiotics during pregnancy and during delivery, and due to the prevalence of the C-section cesarean deliveries, these certain type of bacteria get wiped out, kind of a genocide of bacteria that happens. And this is called Bifidobacterium infantis. And the studies are showing that replacing those important probiotics is key to protect the young children from lifelong allergies. And I want to tell you that this kind of bacteria loves human milk, loves the breast milk. So we don't see a lot of problems of these allergies with breastfed kids. So breastfeeding is important, is great. And that is why there is a pioneering company in research created certain probiotics for pregnant women. The company is called Microbiome Labs, and the product is pregnancy support probiotics. That is recommended for women who are pregnant to help to replace those important probiotics. So as you see, it's kind of that it's transferable. What is transferable is the attacking effect of what we're having in the environment that cause these allergies to develop later in life.
You know, Dr. Omar, you watch people, I watch people who suffer from these allergies, and that can be pretty rough on people. I mean, I see people get really, really sick and from allergies. So they're not just something that's not can it be something serious in the long run? Or
Yeah.
these things that, that will just automatically get better? Or should we really be focused on them if we have them?
Yeah, we have people that call in sick every year. I think there are statistics that show that during seasonal allergies flare up during the pollen seasons, many people call in sick because of those flare-ups. If someone is keeps sneezing all day long, they're not going to be able to be productive, and everyone around them will not be happy working with them. So people will need to take action, and there are ways to deal with those. And there are medications, over-the-counter medications, and also supplements that help to control these seasonal allergies. Just the challenge happens if we are always dealing with the symptoms, not dealing with the cause, because we see people taking loratadine and Allegra all year long, and there is maybe another issue that is happening that cause these allergies to flare up. But let me just put the basics in place. There are what we call H1 receptor antagonists or H2 receptor antagonists. The first generation of antihistamines are things like Benadryl, and Benadryl is like what we take when there is kind of an acute allergic reaction. Benadryl is the diphenhydramine, but it's not recommended to take longer term because it causes sedation effects. And for seniors who take Benadryl to help them sleep, because the side effect is drowsiness and falling asleep, seniors that take it longer term for to help them sleep, they found that there is linkage between dementia and taking Benadryl longer term. Next, I will talk about the other antihistaminics that are more recommended than the Benadryl.
All right, 855-752-4842. It's Thursday. I mean, it's Thursdays with the one and only Dr. Omar, the pharmacist. You're officially in the pharmacy with Dr. Omar on the Earl Ingram Show.
With brutality, talk to me so you can see what's going on, what's going on, what's going on, yeah, what's going on, what's going on, right on.
Hey man, what's your name?
Right on. Right.
Everything.
Mother, everybody thinks we're at home. Oh, but who are they to judge us? Simply cause our hair is long. Oh, you know that we've got to find. Bring some understanding here today. Oh, oh, oh. Pick it loud and pick it sound. Don't punish me with brutality. Come on, talk to me. You can see.
The following content is not intended as medical advice. Always consult your own physician, pharmacist, or healthcare professional for your own healthcare concerns.
Bringing you a passion for health and wellness. Dr. Omar Uliwa is here to answer your pharmaceutical questions. Now, let's go in the pharmacy with Earl Ingram and Dr. Omar.
Doctor, my eyes have seen the years and the slow parade of fears without crying. Now I want to understand. I have done all that I could to see the evil and the good without hiding. You must help me if you can. Doctor, my eyes, tell me what is wrong. Was I unwise to leave them open for so long?
You are officially in the pharmacy with Dr. Omar, the pharmacist, on the Earl Ingram Show. As always, you can join us at 855-752-4842. You can text us at that same number. Dr. Omar, how can people get in touch with you?
People can always call at 262-429-9429 or go to wiltopiarx.com and they're going to reach me.
And so, Cardi, if people hear something that they want, that they, want to, think about, but they missed, or from any other show, what can they do?
Well, Earl, they can always tap into civicmedia.us and check out the Earl Ingram or check out the Earl Ingram content page on there, or they can go on civicmedia.us on the YouTube page and they can click on the Earl Ingram Show and they can follow all episodes from day one to now.
Wow, man, I made the big time. I got a content page, whatever that is. But anyway, if you have any questions or comments, Dr. Omar is willing to entertain those as well. Our conversation right now is about allergies and what you can do where that time of the year is upon us. Dr. Omar, so children have even a more difficult time with these allergies than adults. Is it safe to say that?
Yes, because children do not complain. They just keep sneezing,
Right.
and they don't take many of the available products that are pills and capsules. And of course, they would have more problems because identifying that they have seasonal allergies can be challenging. And that's why also the pharmaceutical industry and the natural industry have products that would help the children. So we have products that are naturally, they have quercetin and they have vitamin C that work really well as chewables to help with allergies. And we also have readily dissolved tablets in the mouth that have quercetin, which is kind of natural way of helping to control the allergies. So these are out there, but we don't want to misunderstand a seasonal allergy with kind of gut sensitivity issue to a food that we're eating, because many times when we have congestion in the nose and we have hives and we have those kind of symptoms of seasonal allergy, we have a challenge of foods that we are eating that we are reacting to. So it is safe to say that we have to always check about the cause of these allergies to make sure that we narrow it down to seasonal allergies.
Dr. Omar, I've seen people who, as I said earlier, really struggle with this, eyes red and running, nose just flat out miserable. And so, you talked about over-the-counter things. Benadryl especially is one that it's always the first thing on the list. You go talk to a pharmacist in the average pharmacy, they're going to tell you, take Benadryl. But you also mentioned that Benadryl can be dangerous if you take it too much.
Couple of things. Benadryl is drowsy, so if you want to take something during the day, it will be better to move to what we call second generation antihistamines or antihistaminics. So we can start with something like Claritin. If we're talking about pharmaceuticals, Claritin, loratadine works for 24 hours, but it's very mild in its effect. Next, we can use something stronger like Allegra or fixofenadine, and that works for the whole day. It's great for daytime, doesn't cause any sedation. The faster effect can happen from what we call Zyrtec, Zyrtec. That's another antihistaminic that's stronger, faster, can cause mild drowsiness. And there is a stronger form of it called the Kizal. So they are all weird names, but they all help and work. And I recommend it to people if they're going to use it beyond few weeks to move to a natural product because unfortunately all of the antihistaminics still have side effects. They can cause dry mouth, they can cause mild drowsiness, and they are still medications. So to help with more of control of these allergies as a natural way, we try to come up with a combination of products that have quercetin, stinging nettle, vitamin C, and what we call also DAO enzymes. And DAO enzymes help to break down the histamine in the gut before this kind of allergic food going to be absorbed and causing these allergic reactions. So the natural products are trying to help those allergic reactions in a more natural way. And the positive with them come is that you can take them longer than the other products without having side effects. And they help more to control the immune system responses. And there is several of them that we like. One of them is called Hista La Vista. That's a product at Wiltopia that has a quercetin, stinging nettle, vitamin C, a 30 years old formula that people are taking for a long time, and many of them are happy taking it even longer than the course of the seasonal allergies because they're flaring up to dusts or pollens or several things, and they need something to take longer. And of course, the side effect of the natural medicine for the allergies is that they are more expensive than the pharmaceutical over-the-counter products in many times.
All right, 855-752-4842. You're officially in the pharmacy with Dr. Omar, the pharmacist, the proprietor and founder of Welltopia Pharmacy. You can join us.
People go just where they will. I never noticed them until I got this feeling that it's greater than it seems. Look in my eyes, tell me what you see. I get that right, just saying it's too late for me. Oh, in the morning sun. I feel you touch me in the pouring rain. And the moment that you wander far from me, I wanna feel you in my arms again. And you come to me on a summer breeze, keep me warm in your love, then you softly leave. And it's me you need to show. How deep is your love?
All right, welcome back to In the Pharmacy with Dr. Omar, the pharmacy on the Earl Ingram Show. As always, you can join us at 855-752-4842. That's 855-752-4842. Dr. Omar is on the Dr. Omar, if somebody wanted to get in touch with you.
They can always go to wiltopiarx.com. They can schedule a consult there or leave me a message or call me at 262-429-9429.
And Cardi, if people miss something?
Well, or if they're missing anything going on with the Earl Ingram Show, they could always tap into civicmedia.us on the website, check out the Earl Ingram page, or they could also check out your social media accounts at Facebook and also on the YouTube page at civicmedia.com. Click on your Earl Ingram Show, and they can view everything from today on to past episodes.
And so Dr. Omar will take any questions or comments that any of you have dealing with anything with your health. So, Dr. Omar, you always go back to the gut. I can't think of anything that would make me believe there's a correlation between my allergy and my gut and the food that I eat. And why does it always go back to the gut?
Because we are what we eat, and the challenges that happen is like if someone is having these kind of symptoms of allergy, like rhinitis, runny nose, and nasal congestion for weeks and weeks, we should dive deep into the main core reason that this is happening. So many times we are sensitive to certain foods that we eat. And when they are absorbed from the intestines to the bloodstream, they cause this kind of signal to the immune system, react, there is an invader coming. So this kind of mucus build up, this kind of sneezing, this is kind of a sign that something is happening down there. So there is a prominent gastroenterologist doctor who always says, if it's up there in the nose, it's down there in the gut. And that's why, like, if something is lingering for several weeks, we should always test the gut, check if there is IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. If there is a problem, I monitor happening after I eat certain foods. Some people would tell you, after I eat tomatoes, every time I feel like I am having these flare-ups of allergies. So checking on dairy and gluten, if you are sensitive to them, not just allergic, but sensitive to them. So one of the tricks that you can do to your body is like to ditch the gluten and dairy for 4 to 6 weeks and notice what is happening, and then introduce again dairy, check to see if your allergies are flaring up or not, and then introduce dairy, see if your allergies are flaring up or not. So this is kind of simple ways to check. I had a patient that came to me a week ago, and she told me that she had cold and flu symptoms. She tested positive for COVID. And after that, she tested also positive for upper respiratory tract infection. She got treated heavily with antibiotics. And after that, she took antihistaminics. And for several weeks, she still have these kind of symptoms of allergy. And she's asking me, what else can I do? And she's taking nasal anticongestants. She's taking everything. And we're testing several things, but one of the things that can happen early is that we might have bacteria in the upper respiratory tract, in the nasal passage, and this bacteria surrounds itself with what we call a biofilm, which is like a layer of protection from the antibiotics. So you take the antibiotics and it's not working for the bacteria that's localized in the nose. And one of the ways to deal with that is that there is a culture sensitivity test that's done in the upper respiratory tract. And then we see this culture in the pharmacy, and we create a compounded nasal spray specifically for the bacteria and the fungi in the upper respiratory tract. And that's kind of more of a unique way of dealing with chronic allergies. So that's why I'm sending a message to people who are having a family member or they are having those kind of flare up of allergies without a reason all year long, and they go to a prescriber and they write them loratadine every single day, 11 refills because of those allergies. There might be something else you need to address. You might need also to check the vitamin D levels, the zinc levels, as low levels mess up with immunity and cause this kind of wrong messages that come from allergens. Checking on detoxification, especially the space that you are around. Swap out synthetic scents and grab a HEPA filter to help to clean the air where you live. So I would create like a checklist of things I have to do to clean my environment, clean my food, and go over a step by step kind of approach. Because when you improve these symptoms and you help your immune system react better, that will help the quality of life.
You know, Dr. Omar, you just, your explanation and the way you explain things, the immune system being on guard and as and sending an alarm that, hey, the enemy is coming, and all those things. It's not just colorful, but it is makes it easier for us, for me anyway, to understand after all these decades exactly what's going on with my system, how my body works, and all those different things. Never knew about those things, not to the degree that I do now since you've been on the air. Let's go to Jim from Brookfield. Hey, good morning to you, Jim. You have a question or comment?
Good morning, Earl. Good morning, Dr. Omar. My
Morning, Jim.
question isn't related. It's not related to
It doesn't have
allergies,
to be.
however.
It doesn't have to be. Go ahead.
Okay. Thanks, Earl. A family member is on Eliquis, the blood thinner, and of course also has arthritis. Okay, so my question is, should that person be conscientious of what they take for the OTC, over the counter, for the arthritis, such as ibuprofen or Tylenol, if they're going to have to mix it 2 times a day with Eliquis, the thinner? I've heard that maybe Tylenol may be a little bit better, so I'm going to suggest that to them. But they like ibuprofen. But I've read that ibuprofen and Eliquis don't mix so much. So I'm wondering what Dr. Omar feels about that.
It's a great question. Hang on.
The blood thinner Eliquis have many drug interactions for any medication or supplement that would increase the bleeding risk. So I agree with you. Ibuprofen would not be my first choice. Tylenol would be my first choice. It's more safer for this patient. And I also want your relative to investigate the use of low dose naltrexone to help with the arthritic pain, because LDN or low dose naltrexone, the compounded medication of a very old drug, has been changing lives of many patients with arthritic pain. So, and it's okay to take with Eliquis, it's okay to take with many other medications unless the patient is taking an opioid. So, and it's also safer long term than using Tylenol long term. Because the problem with Tylenol, like if the patient is taking high dose for long term, it kind of depletes the liver. Uh, you can see a patient taking easily like 650 milligram 3-4 times a day. There is an upper limit of 3 to 4 grams per day. So that's why it's like chronic use of Tylenol also is not recommended. We want to seek other forms of help. And as I tell you, like LDN is great. Unfortunately, curcumin or turmeric is having also blood thinning effect. So we do not want to take this with Eliquis. omega-3 fish oil that is going to help to a bit with the arthritic pain, but we also don't want to go beyond the 2 grams per day because of increasing of bleeding risk. So in plain term, I would tell you any medication, any new medication or supplement, the pharmacist always looks at certain medications with increased bleeding risk. One of them is the Eliquis, and I see Eliquis like with many patients who are seniors who've had a previous cardiovascular event. So I like this question, and I think it was good to provide this kind of explanation of how important is it to check on the medications and supplements with blood thinners. Before I forget, also the CBD products, they can increase bleeding risk and can affect the Eliquis, how it works. So if CBD, someone is taking CBD for pain relief, and they also have warfarin or Eliquis or Xarelto, they should also take the confirmation of their practitioner or their doctor that it's okay for them to do that.
Okay, Jim. All right, thank you very much for the call. So, Dr. Omar, I have to say to you, you know, you sound like an MD. You don't sound
We
like what
kind of, we complement each other. Like I work daily with doctors and nurse practitioners, and I learn from them, they learn from me. So I know more about medications, but I am well versed into the functional medicine approach. And more than that, I like to combine between the pharmaceutical products and the natural medicines. And as you know, there is just so much sources of information now, and doctors are bombarded with drug reps. And I am as a pharmacist also, I have different sources of information. So I find that there is God's pharmacy, there is a pharmaceuticals. These are all tools that we can use for better health. And at the same time, since my first day in working as a pharmacist, I decided that I am always going to work with the team of care for the patient. So my door is open always to talk to providers, and I'm always humbling myself with science and with research and with opening the conversation with the circle of care around the patient. We want one patient, one doctor, one pharmacist, and I always tell my patients and clients during the consultations, you know what, I will talk to your doctors and tell them what we're doing here, because if I am doing something, I don't want to go against any treatment plan that you have. If you're being treated from cancer, from arthritis, cardiovascular risk, high blood pressure, I have to talk to the providers to kind of optimize patient medications. And that's the emerging rule of pharmacists, because we get trained on so many medications and treatments. Prescription pad is just a tool that we can always optimize as pharmacists.
So, Dr. Omar, you don't sound like any pharmacist I ever knew in the past, um, because the vast knowledge that you have, not only of the medications, but the person themselves, the physiology of the person, right, of a human being, and so all pharmacists don't have that kind of vast knowledge, or do they? Or is that part of the requirement of being a pharmacist today?
To be honest with you, like I deal with so many pharmacists that have vast knowledge. They know more than me about like pharmaceuticals and medications. But diving deep into the natural and functional medicine approaches and the molecules of, let's say, the quercetin, what is vitamin C, what are types of vitamin C, that requires extracurriculum research and passion. Knowing and understanding compounding. If you're not doing it every day, well, why would you bother? But there is also different fields in pharmacy, Earth. There is like specialty pharmacy that would be more versed into the cancer medications and the biologics. So it is just so much out there, and unfortunately, because of the drainage of workflow, we see the pharmacist always locked behind the screen trying to make sure that the patient is getting the correct medication, and they don't have a lot of time for counseling. But if pharmacists spend more time in counseling, you will see how much knowledge is out there to support patients.
855-752-4842. Hang on, Gail. We'll be right with you. You're officially in the pharmacy with Dr. Omar, the pharmacist.
Cause we're living in a world of fools, breaking us down when they all should let us be. We belong to you and me. I've been holding out so long, I've been sleeping all alone. Lord, I miss you. I've been hanging on the phone, I've been sleeping all alone. I won't miss you.
All right, welcome back to the Earl Ingram Show. You're officially in the pharmacy with Dr. Omar, the pharmacist, on the Earl Ingram Show. And I'll tell you something. Well, let me do. Let's go to the phone lines first. Hey, good morning, Gail from Kenosha. Thank you very much for the call. You have a question coming for Dr. Omar.
Yes. I read where eating red grapes can help with allergies. Is that true?
Well, I am more worried about red grapes with the high sugar index because it's one of the fruits that if you eat a lot of, it is going to increase the blood sugar quickly. So it can help with allergies, yes, in a small but powerful way because it's rich in quercetin and resveratrol. Quercetin is mast cell stabilizer, which is kind of helps with regulation of the histamine production. And resveratrol also is anti-inflammatory. All right, but to get the therapeutic dose of quercetin or resveratrol, you really need a lot of grapes daily. So it will help, but it can affect badly your blood sugar. And it's easier for you to take a supplement that has the quercetin and resveratrol to help with the same purpose, but in a more powerful way.
Gail?
Thank you.
All right, thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
Gail.
You know, Dr. Omar, it is just fascinating to find out just this body and the systems and how they interact and even at this late juncture of my life, not having known much at all about all of the different things that we've been talking about and over, this extended period of in the pharmacy with Dr. Omar. And so, to be able to, and you put it in a verbiage that I think all of us can understand so well. But let's get back quickly to what you talk about when you're constantly talking about supplements for people who may just be joining us, and why you're so doggone, centered on supplements.
Sure. It's like to summarize what we're saying about allergies, for instance, allergies are your body talking. Don't just mute them. Deal with them. Use medications smart. If you're going to take a medication when you go to bed, if you're going to use Benadryl pills or diphenhydramine, use it for a few nights. But longer than that, it's not recommended. If you need medications and you need something to take during the day, you can, during the day that's not drowsy, try to use something like Claritin. Stronger are the Allegra and Cetirizine. But if you want to go to the natural supplements that have much less side effect profile, you're going to invest a little more money, and you're going to get products with quercetin, vitamin C, NAC. Check on names like Hista, La Vista products, Histaquel. For children, check on chewable tablets of Hista Junior. These are supplements only at Wiltopia, by the way. And if you do not want to swallow capsules or tablets, there is also liposomal delivery liquid that you can pump in your mouth, coming from a company called the Quicksilver. So there are many products. Then the main question that we will have is like, what do I do if it's more chronic than using it longer than few weeks? That's when we want to dive deep into the root cause of these allergies. Check first with your primary doctor, check with the functional medicine practitioner that you know, and try to figure out if there is something in relationship with foods that you eat or the gut health that you have. There is IBS or problems in the tight junctions in your gut that makes these flare-ups more problematic. Also, check if you've had an infection in your nose, in the upper respiratory tract, that need to be identified. That will need more of customized medication according to the case. And that's when you're going to invest some money into making testing for what is the culture of what's up there in your nasal passage that's causing the allergies. So you can start with the simplest solutions and then go to the next solution, go to the next solution. It is just listen to your body and swing by Wiltopia or give us a call, and we'll help you build up a plan for your optimum health.
You know, quickly, only got a couple seconds left. Dr. Omar, oh my gosh, when I eat tomatoes or tomato sauce, my ears itch like crazy. I could scratch them off. It really sucks because I love Italian food and tomatoes. Allergy? Could that
If
be
you,
an allergy?
it could be an allergy, and what I recommend to you if you still want to eat tomatoes is to take a product called DAO inhibitor, DAO, diamine oxidase. We have one from Zymergen, one from Seeking Health, and you have to eat it every time you eat tomatoes. So that's going to break down the histamine production before it absorbs it in your gut. Give us a call and we will help you with something that will help you to enjoy the tomatoes.
And what's that number?
262-429-9429.
All right, Doc, we got to leave it there. You've
All right.
officially
Thank
been
you.
in the pharmacy with Dr. Omar, the pharmacist, and the proprietor of Welltopia Pharmacy in Mech One, Thingsville. Up next, we're going to talk about, Donald Trump and 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 Elon Musk on the Earl Ingram Show. All right.
something wild. Stranger dressed in black, she's a hungry child. No one knows who she is or what her name is.
All right, welcome back to the Earl Ingram Show. As always, you can join us at 855-752-4842. That's 855-752-4842. Text us at that same number. Happy Liberation Day is what Donald Trump said yesterday. And I guess people don't know who he was liberating. The average American certainly was not liberated. The Congress did not feel liberated, and that means Republican congressmen and senators did not feel liberated. So who was he liberating? Definition of liberation: the act of setting someone free from imprisonment, slavery, or oppression. Release. Freedom from limits on thoughts or behavior, the struggle for women's liberation. What was he talking about? Did anybody ask? I wonder if he knew or if he knows the definition of what liberation is. Or was it another one of his, concoctions to lead and mislead people? In some dark times. I'll tell you something. There's so much information out right now on the impact of the decisions that this man has made all over the world. And these decisions that he made, that 99.9% of economists from around the world and everybody else says is wrong. And he stubbornly, in the face of all of that, not being educated himself on this, has decided to do it anyway. 35 to 40% chance now of recession. We're headed for a tough slog, no question about it. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. All of us knew that. But all of us have to suffer the consequences and deal with what's coming down the pike, which is terrifying. If you don't think that what's coming down the pike is terrifying, just listen to some of the heads of these different letters that have been written over the last day or so. House cancels rest of votes for the entire week after many GOP floor members are in total rebellion. 4 GOP senators vote with Democrats to undo Trump tariffs on Canada. Let's see. Trump Liberation Day tariffs. Here's how much countries are concerned and worried about global recession. Markets plunge. Markets plunge in reaction to Trump's Liberation Day. Trump's tariffs deepen U.S. economy uncertainty. On and on and on. And this man, again, in the face of everything and all of the people with all the pedigrees and understanding economies and what makes all of these things work, this man, in the face of all of those things, went ahead and did it his way, as we all knew he would. And the risk of bringing on a recession under these circumstances reminds me of the time when I was a young man and Jimmy Carter was the president and interest rates were at 20%. I mean, this is where we're headed. And Mitch McConnell supported Democrats in undoing the tariffs against Canada. He said we need to reinforce our allies. You know, let's see. Trump Liberation Day tariffs helps, markets plunge. Markets plunge in reaction to Trump's Liberation Day tariffs. No bathroom breaks. I mean, just on and on and on. And, that's where we are. So let's go to Brian. Brian, let me tell you, layoffs upon layoffs, job cuts. It is the darkness before the dawn. Is that what they say? And yet there are people who still believe in this person. Listen, man, I'm not so bright. But I'll tell you, if I'm going to believe anybody, it's the economist, man. The brightest amongst us on the economy. I'm not going to believe a man who doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. And even in the face of the fact that he was warned by economists all over the world what would happen, he stands before the people and does this anyway. And I have to say, where's Joe Biden? Bring him back. I don't care what anybody says. Dealing with Joe Biden's economy and what we're going to be dealing with now, no comparison. Let's go to Brian. Good morning to you, Brian. You say what?
Good morning. Yeah, I think they should rename this Liberation Day, Inflation Day, because that's all it's going to be. And, some of the mega supporters think that, he's just doing his job and this is great. It's like, guys, this is going to affect you. Take, for example, vehicles. I don't think people realize that 60% of the parts that are used for the American-made vehicles here in the U.S. are imported.
I know,
all that's going to do is increase the prices of these U.S. vehicles. Oh, but they're bringing more jobs to the U.S. But it's like, are you guys stupid? I don't know what else to say. This is just crazy.
Well, Brian, so, you asked if they're stupid. And what they are is they fell for a hustler. It's what they did. They fell, and that's who Donald Trump has been his entire life. He's been a hustler. People can get angry. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, like I told some of the people that voted for them, it's like, you guys fell for his lies, and now you don't want to stand up for the truth and realize that you made a mistake. Your guys are the ones that messed up here. You know what I mean?
Well, see, Brian,
admit that you were wrong and move on.
Well, but Brian, I bet they're not admitting that, are they?
Oh, they're not. No.
I know.
That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. What are they going to do? I mean, they're talking about, in some instances, cars going up $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a vehicle, man.
That's crazy. And vehicles, even used vehicles, are already expensive enough.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the call, man. Really appreciate it. Yep. Let's go to CJ. CJ, you're up. Oh, I know. It's certainly better than it was under Joe Biden. Let us have it, man. Let's have it. Oh, things are much better.
You hear how the books are coming out? You hear how the books are coming out about Joe Biden?
Hey, Joe Biden is not the president, man. Joe Biden is not the president. Okay, so let's not even go there.
He sure isn't.
No,
Thank
the
God
president. Let's talk about Donald Trump. Let's talk about Donald Trump. And everybody, Democrats and Republicans and economists all over the world, say that what he is doing is wrong, but CJ says what he's doing is all right. Let's talk about that.
What is the UAW membership and leadership saying about them? Come on, Earl. Tell us.
Hey,
They're
CJ.
happier than heck.
Hey,
They
CJ.
are loving it.
Hey,
You
CJ.
aren't
Hey,
Chance
CJ.
now, are you?
Bring him down,
You
man.
aren't
Bring him
Chance
down. Bring him
Unions
down.
now, are
Bring him down. So let me respond to it this way. The UAW and those who support this, as you stated, may be happy because they are led to believe that Pandora's box has been opened and that all these great jobs are coming back to America and it's going to be the way it was 40 years ago when I worked in the auto industry for 34 years. Hey, CJ, I worked in the auto industry for 34 years. I know a little bit more about it than you will ever know. And I'll say this, because you don't have any clue or any idea, anybody who believes that they're bringing back those jobs that left here 30 years ago is off their rocker. Because most of those jobs that left here were because of technology. It wasn't so much because of the other things, it's because of the advancement of technology. Are you aware of that? Bring it back up. Are you aware of that?
You won't keep me as long as Brian.
No.
Because he's kissing your butt.
Hey,
but I'll
no.
tell you the facts.
Hey, you
I'll
can't.
tell you the facts.
You,
won't let
hey,
me
CJ,
talk.
you can't tell
You
me
won't
any
let
facts.
talk.
No, because you're not going to control my show. This is my show. Okay, understand
you
that.
can't dispute the facts.
I just all right. Just go ahead and keep supporting a man that's bringing down recession and pain on the American people like they haven't seen in decades. Maybe your family members, or maybe you're wealthy enough that it's not going to impact and affect your family members, but I think not. 855-752-4842. You're tuned into the Earl Ingram Show. We'll keep it going.
So young to be loose and on her own.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
Downtown, the boys all stop and stare. When she comes downtown, she walks like she just don't care. Yeah. Hot child in the city. Hot child in the city. Running wild and looking pretty. Yeah. Hot child in the city. take this badge off of me. I can't use it anymore. It's getting dark, too dark to see. Feel I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock,
All right,
knock,
welcome
knocking
back
on heaven's
to the Earl
door.
Ingram Show. As always, you can join us at 855-752-4842, 855-752-4842. Text us at that same number. You know, it is a futile attempt to talk with somebody who is so ill-equipped to do their own independent thought. And so, you know, what's the purpose of having your own brain if somebody else controls it? And so, you know, CJ is that kind of a guy. And so, you know, he can't, somebody else is controlling his brain. So, you know, he can only, you know, repeat what it is he's repeating in the face of the calamity, the disaster that is coming down the pike in this nation. Bill from McCunmug. Bill, you're up. You say what?
I'd like to ask CJ if he was proud of the fact that the last time that clown was in office, we lost 1 million people to COVID because of his lack of leadership. We also gained $4 trillion in debt because of his lack of leadership. If CJ doubts that, look it up. You can see where he was ranked in COVID. Now he's destroying all the pensions, the retirements, the 401ks, and Susan Crawford had a landslide victory. CJ, you probably don't know this. I believe that was some Republicans just saying we've had enough of this clown. CJ, have a wonderful day, and I hope your renters have enough money to give you their rent.
Well,
Because they might not, and maybe you can
hey,
extend
Bill,
it, CJ.
enough about CJ. Thank you very much for the call. Let's go to Brendan. Good morning to you, Brendan. You say what?
Yeah, good morning, Earl. Listen, 3 quick points. One, whenever I hear MAGA stupid talk, I always think of that famous Honeymooners line where Ed said to Ralph, look over the hills there, Ralph. They must be friendly Indians. But the other one I have is that the first thing that got me is this guy started off his speech by reacting to what happened in Wisconsin by saying 3 times, us Republicans need to stick together. You know why he said that? Because he feels them breaking away. They're finally breaking away. The town halls have woken these knuckleheads up, and they realize if they want to keep their jobs, they better start getting in line. And the final thing is, and I know you said don't mention him, CJ, you were so close until you mentioned Biden's book. See ya.
All right, thank you very much for the call. Charles, you're up, man.
He's a two-bit hustler. He's a two-bit hustler. He's bankrupted casinos, which I'm not sure how you can do that. He has no successful business that you can look at and say, well, he was successful at that. Everything he touches, he breaks. And he has people really believing that the jobs that went overseas are miraculously just going to flock back to the United States. First of all, what workforce would work these jobs? Second, the $9 or $10 an hour that they're probably paying the people overseas, if even that, they're going to all of a sudden come back to the United States and pay people $35, $40 an hour,
which is the going rate. Which is the going rate for those jobs in America, $40 an hour.
Right.
And benefits.
It's not going to, right. Benefits, vacation time, and they're not paying out vacation time and benefits overseas. And I wonder how many of these Republicans that are so wholeheartedly believing in Trump are looking at their 401ks this morning saying, wait a minute, this is not what I voted for. But you did vote for it, though. He told you what he was going to do. He's not a smart man. And people have not, his followers and the ignorant people that thought Donald Trump was going to do something great for the people of America didn't believe that. He hasn't talked about doing anything for the American people that voted for him. Oh, I'm going to end the war in a day. Inflation is going to come down right away. Grocery prices. He ain't talked about none of that.
Well, so
he doesn't care.
So, Charles, here's what I would say to you. You know, a picture's worth 1,000 words. He was just the president a little over 4.5 years ago. So he didn't do anything then.
Nothing, Earl. He had the farmers thinking that he had their best interest, and he ended up having to give them money. Not longer. He gave them money because he knew that they would be mad at him. And those, and I hate to use the word idiots, but those idiots backed him again. And now they're about to feel pain. But you know what his team said? Oh, well, we'll have to bail out the farmers again.
Well, you know, man,
we'll bail them out again with free money.
You know, Charles, you're 100% correct. Anybody who thinks that what Charles said is untrue, again, 855-752-4842. He led the farmers to believe that he was for them and Joe Biden and Democrats weren't. But this whole fiasco is going to damage farmers more than the 9% inflation rate that befell Joe Biden and the Democrats. Donald Trump and what he's getting ready to do is going to cripple them for decades. 855-752-4842. Phone lines are open. We'll come right to you. Tune in to the Earl Ingram Show.
I can't use it anymore. It's getting dark, too dark to see. Feel I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, 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 knocking on heaven's door. Mama put my guns in the ground. I can't shoot them anymore. That long black cloud is coming down. I feel I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, 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 knocking on heaven's door. and you can bet he barely makes $1. His mother goes to scrub the floors for Minnie, and you best believe she hardly gets a penny, living just enough for the city.
Show. As always, you can join us at 855-752-4842, 855-752-4842. And Donald Trump said yesterday was Happy Liberation Day. Your thoughts? Let's go to Cindy from Appleton. Good morning to you, Cindy. You say what?
Well, I have four quick things, Earl, this morning. First of all, CJ has got to be a millionaire. There's no doubt about it. Second of all, the felon in charge has no idea what liberation means or what it is. Thirdly, everything that's going to happen, remember, is going to be Biden's fault. And fourthly, like I've said before, where the hell is our Congress and Senate?
Well, you know, they tried to stand up yesterday, Cindy, and too little, too late. And so now Republican Congress people are starting to push back a little bit, but the damage is already done. You know, when they had a chance to stop him from doing what he's doing to damage this country, the world, and their constituents, they were like CJ. You know, they were just somebody who couldn't think for themselves. And they're going to wait to see the outcome, which is going to be really ugly. Thank you very much for the call. Let's go to Larry from Stockbridge. Good morning to you, Larry. You say what?
Morning, Earl. Could I take a couple minutes? I want to talk. There was a guest, I think it was on your show a couple weeks ago. He was talking about we have to regain political power.
Yes.
Democratic Party, and I just cringed when he said that. We don't want people to have power over us, especially a Democratic power. We have enough of that with MAGA. When I was working in a manufacturing plant years ago in the early 80s, we had a union, an independent union, and every 3 or 4 years, our contract would be up. So every 3 or 4 years, the union leadership would change. So one day at the union meeting, when our contract was coming up to be organized and we would bargain with the company, the older guys nominated me and two other guys to be union leadership. And I said, wait, what's going on? We didn't want it. We didn't ask for it. But what they said to us is, you have to take your turn. And that's what a lot of our Democratic congressmen and senators are doing, but not enough of them. You know, take your turn. You're not in there for power over us. You're in there to lead us, represent us, and
so let me ask you, Larry. You talk about the Democrats. Republicans are in charge now. This is their mess. This is their madness.
I know, and I know, and that's what I'm saying. It's probably too late now for us to get.
Never too late.
We got to wait till 2026.
Never too late.
Saying is,
okay, go ahead.
And we need more women, and we need the political candidates that want to serve, is what I'm saying.
Okay, I don't disagree with you, Larry. Thank you. Thank you very much for the call.
Thank you.
All right, Mike from Kenosha. Mike, do these people they've unleashed a Kraken, and the Kraken has access. I'll turn your radio down, Mike.
Yeah, it's all down.
Yeah, and the Kraken has access to we still got, is that on our end?
Yeah, it is your end for sure.
Okay.
Your end.
Yeah. Can you figure it out?
Does he have his mic on? I mean, does he have
Are
his
you on the
radio
speakerphone?
Just
No.
the speaker off his.
No. Let's try to work with that, Mike, before we bring you on.
Okay.
All right, Tom from LA, you're up.
First off, this is yes, Earl. First off, this is all lied at the feet of the Republicans. They could actually end it in a second. The Congress could end it in a second. We Democrats, though, need to follow the FDR playbook, since Trump and the Republicans are following the Hitler playbook. Just the bottom line. For some reason, this guy, Donald Trump, really wants to destroy America.
The world.
I don't know if it's because he's a Russian asset. I don't know what the deal is behind it all. But for some reason, he really doesn't like America. And remember, if Republicans are spewing it, they're doing it. So I don't know what the underneath of all of this is, why it is that Donald Trump hates America so much. But his actions speak louder than his words, and his actions are that he hates America. Thanks, Earl.
Well, you know, he does. Well, what he cares about is money. And so I don't even know if it's so much that it's America. It's the fact that he wants to become a billionaire. He'll soon be that. He's the only reason he's in office is to increase his wealth and his family's wealth. And that's the only reason. There is no other reason that Donald Trump is the president, wanted to be the president of the United States. And all of his actions point to that. You know, and those of you who supported him, now he's making it clear. When people say, well, you haven't done anything to address the pain that the American people were feeling before the election, that you went all over this country telling people you were going to fix. You haven't uttered a mumbling word about any of that. And his response was, well, the people are going to have to suffer a little pain. What's a little pain? A little pain to a man who's almost a billionaire is he may lose, 25 million, 50 million in the stock market. But a little pain, but for the average person who struggles on a daily basis and the price of bread has gone up $1, that's major pain. He doesn't know anything about that. And for those of you who keep supporting him, he doesn't know anything about that, nor does he care. And you're still supporting him. Mike from Kenosha. Mike, we got you?
Hope so. Yeah, thanks for taking my
got
calls.
you.
Always.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, first of all, I want to ask a real serious question to everybody, but specifically conservatives. When did you throw away and disregard the U.S. Constitution? This tariff thing is the job of Congress. It's not the job of the executive branch. It's Congress's job. And what we've all witnessed, Earl, is in recent history, both in the state houses and the federal houses, a do-nothing Congress that continues to walk away from doing the people's work. And it's like, others have said before, we need public servants, to do what public servants do, and that is serve the public, for crying out loud. But somehow we've gotten used to and comfortable with Congress not doing their job. And it just blows my mind, especially in a time now where the Constitution in its simplicity shows how brilliant it is. We have all the remedies right in front of us. If Congress would do the job, but no. And the last thing, real quick, they talk about a little pain. Or America will feel a little pain. I've got an idea. There's about 750 billionaires in America, give or take. I don't know. I think we tax them at 100% over $1 billion because there's only 750 of them. They may find a little pinch, but they're still going to have $999 million in their back pocket. They can't be too miserable, can they? I say we the people have enough. They have neglected doing the people's work for so long. I say, you know what, billionaires, you're ready to stick it to us. Let's do a little jujitsu and move on. Let's say, no, you first. 750 billionaires, guess what? You're taxed at 100% after the first $1 billion. It's only going to hurt for a little while. But you're going to get used to, living on $999 million. So, I don't know, a little bit of tongue in cheek for sure. But back to my point, let Congress and let the Constitution in its path forward get us out of here. But to throw away and dismiss the Constitution and people power and lean toward an authoritative dictatorship, that's not the way forward.
Hey, Mike, thank you very much for the call. Jack from Merrimack, you're up. Jack from Merrimack. Okay. Okay. Anyway, while we await Jack from Merrimack, I would say that people who supported him right now, who have buyer's remorse, really need to speak out. Okay? If you voted for this lunatic and you see him now and you know that you made a mistake, join the rest of us and say, I made a mistake. But this man is getting ready to destroy my family. This man is getting ready to destroy my livelihood. Nobody's asking you to do that to say, I told you so. We're just asking you to join in so the numbers of those who are displeased with this man grow, and then it becomes a crescendo like in music. Just the sheer numbers of Americans who now will be, in the streets. Well, don't worry so much. Elon Musk is going to be going away soon. It's too late. He's done the damage. But Elon Musk is not going to be around much longer. Elon Musk has carried the torch. He's helped crucify the American people. And then he's going to walk away. And so I'm hearing people, hey, Early, do you know that Elon Musk is going to be done? Elon Musk can be gone, but the things that he's done, the hundreds of thousands of people that he laid off, that he destroyed their families and their lives, and then tens of millions of Americans whose lives have also been upended and turned inside out because of the policies of Elon Musk. And he walks away, right? And he walks away as a hero in the eyes of some who clearly are challenged. 855-752-4842 is the number. Hang on the phone lines. I'll come right back to you on the Earl Ingram Show.
I lose my cool when she steps in the room. And I get so excited just from her perfume. Electric eyes that you can't ignore. And passion burns you like never before. I was in search of a good time, just running my game. Yeah. Love was the furthest from my mind. Yeah. Caribbean twin, now we're sharing the same dream. The moves and the hearts that beat as one. Ooh. As long as time, true as it can be.
Welcome back to the last few minutes of the Earl Ingram Show. As always, you can join us at 855-752-4842. If I sound animated, it's because I know pain that so many people are going to feel. Single mothers who are struggling to do the best that they can with their children. You know, they even the Feeding America, which is a lifeline for so many, and it provides food and nourishment for people. Their money's been cut. Cold-blooded, inhumane. People like Donald Trump and Elon Musk and all of those people who support him. How can you sleep at night? Cut access to food. Anyway, Tom, go ahead, man.
Just wanted to say you're talking about people standing up. Why isn't former president standing up and saying,
I said that, man. I
this
said
is
that.
enough?
I said that. I agree with you.
You know, and I think, you know, history is repeating itself. You know, Trump even mentions Smoot-Hawley Act. That was the catalyst for the Great Depression, and he is doing it, but a hell of a lot worse than what they did back then. And people just don't understand history. Like the saying goes, those who don't understand, or those who, how's it go?
Forget
Those
history
who,
is doomed to
don't
repeat
study,
it.
right, or then to repeat it, right. Yeah, so I just really want to fight back. But again, I mean, we're gonna have Uber bills. You know, I don't want to see that happen, but the way this is going, he is not seeing. There's a reason why he bankrupt casinos. You know, and one other quick thing. Yesterday I called in about there was a Scott Walker thing and blaming CNN and all that. In the comments, someone said, well, we don't have to worry. We have Trump for another 7 3/4 years.
The thought of it is going to make me throw up my breakfast, Tom. Thank you very much for the call.
Thank you, sir.
You know, I'm gonna, you know, I'm not afraid of CJ. And so, you know, if it seems like I'm harsh on CJ, it's because CJ thinks he can talk over me. And he hasn't learned yet that, you know, I'm the guy who has control over, you know, the person that speaks. Let's go to Jack from Merrimack. Good morning to you, Jack. How you doing, sir?
Hey, Siri, call Civic Media.
All right. So, Jack, you there? Okay.
Hey, Siri, call Civic Media.
I don't know who that is.
Jack, you're on the line.
All right. Anyway, you know, while all that is going on and we haven't figured that out yet, I just, man, I don't know, man. I just don't know how it's possible, man, that people, you know, can't see the end result of what's getting ready to happen, right? I just don't. You got him? You got him? Okay. I just don't know, man. You know, here's a man who said he was going to end the war. Some of you guys remember this? As soon as I could end the war in Ukraine in one day, I'm going to end it. I'm going to end the war in Gaza. I'm going to do it. I'm going to bring down all the prices. Hadn't done any of that.
Started more wars than
Yeah, man, he hasn't done any of that. Nothing. Running off at the mouth. That's what he does. Just run his mouth. Nothing comes out of his head. And so the damage that he's going to do, I've never seen oh yeah, George, plenty anger. Because I care about people, man. Something you don't know anything about, you and Donald Trump and others like you. I know what's getting ready to happen to the least amongst us. And it didn't have to happen. And the guy who's perpetrating all of this sleeps easy at night. You know, he really does. That's what's at the root of my feelings and emotions. You know what? I see people, man. I don't walk past some soul and not feel their pain. I don't. You know, they're human beings, they're people. That's it. Anyway, I got to go. Thank everybody who made the show go. Up next, Jane Madnair, Greg Bach, Madnair on there. Keep an eye on that guy. Don't you dare blink. The damage that he's going to be doing to this nation and the world is almost unprecedented. See you later.
As the sun may rise, till as old as time, tune as old as song, and as sweet as strange, finding you can change, learning you were wrong. Certain as the sun, certain as